mercy freely shown for you and me. By the one who did atone, just to show His matchless grace, Jesus suffered for the race, and it was in Gethsemane alone. Still, oh, what love, matchless love. I said, oh, what love for me was shown, and it is forever I will be for the love He gave to me. When He suffered all alone, and Terry here He told the grief, and Terry here and watched for me. But they heard no bitter moan, and for the 3 disciples left, while my loving Savior wept. It was in Gethsemane alone. Say, oh, what love, matchless love. Say, oh, what love for me was shown, and if forever I will be for the love He gave to me. When He suffered all alone, alone in anguish deep was she, weeping there for you and me. For my sin to Him was known, and we should love Him evermore for the anguish that she bore in Gethsemane alone. Say, oh, what love, matchless love. From what love for me was shown, and is forever I will be for the love He gave to me. When He suffered all alone, Terry
guys that much time today. So we about to get started. We probably got about an hour, y'all. So I'm gonna give y'all about an hour worth. Thank you, guys. Welcome to Kakarot Sunday Freestyle Church Service. I am Kakarot, the host with the most. He's about to get started here. Been a while since I've been able to come in the afternoon, but I am here. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate that. We are definitely about to get started. So we are in Micah, the book of Micah chapter 2, which is crazy. 1193 to 1233. So we got about 40 pages until the New Testament, y'all. We have 40 pages until we hit Matthew's. 40 pages, and we've been reading up to 1192 pages. So 40 pages to us shouldn't be too difficult, but we definitely about to get started. Praise God. I thank God we made it all the way to his word, which is the book of Micah. And yeah, the eagle. Okay, yeah, so we did read chapter 1. All right, so let's jump in it, y'all. Without further ado, let's read the book of Micah. Thank you. Let's start this lottery. Let's start the show. I got banned on TikTok. I'm banned until Tuesday. So I had to just double back on my other Facebook just to get 2 streams going. But shouts out to everybody. Shouts out to God. Shouts out to my granny and her ailment, her health, her ordeal, and her blessings. Shouts out to God, his word, his holy inspiration. And shouts out to me, his servant, his messenger, and his anointed one. And I thank everyone. I praise everyone, and I appreciate everyone. I thank God for everyone. Thank you. Okay. Chapter 2. Woe to them that devise iniquity, and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields, and take them by violence, and houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Whew. Alright, that's the first one, right? That's the first opening. This is 3 now, verses 3. Micah chapter 2. Thank you, guys. Get your Bibles out. Please get your Bibles out. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall you go haughtily, for this time is evil. In that day shall one take up a parable against you, and lament with a doleful lamentation, and say, we be utterly spoiled. He hath changed the portion of my people. How hath he removed it from me? Turning away, he hath divided our fields. Therefore thou shalt have none that shall cast a cord by lot in the congregation of the Lord. Prophesy you not, Say they to them that prophesy, they shall not prophesy to them, that they shall not take shame. O that art named the house of Jacob, is the spirit of the Lord straitened? Are these his doings? Do not my words do good to him that walketh uprightly? Even of late my people is risen up as an enemy. Ye pull off the robe with the garment from them that pass by securely, as men averse from war. The women of my people have ye cast out from their pleasant houses. From their children have ye taken away my glory forever. He's speaking to Varric right now. The Veer is a Jarbo trying to be tough and hard. And he's not. Who is this right here? Wise, I cannot. I thank you though. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. If a man walketh in the spirit, and falsehood do lie, saying, I will prophesy unto thee of wine and of strong drink, he shall even be the prophet of this people. I will surely assemble, O Jacob, all of thee. I will surely gather the remnant of Israel. I will put them together as the sheep of Basra, as the flock in the midst of their fold. They shall make great noise by reason of the multitude of men. The breaker is come up before them. They have broken up and have passed through the gate, and are gone out by it, and their king shall pass before them, and the Lord on the head of them. Let's try this one more time. I will surely assemble, O Jacob, all of thee. I will surely gather the remnant of Israel. I will put them together as the sheep of Basra, as the flock in the midst of their fold. They shall make great noise by reason of the multitude of men. The breaker is come up before them. They have broken up and have passed through the gate, and are gone out by it, and their king shall pass before them, and the Lord on the head of them. And I said, Hear, I pray you, O heads of Jacob, and ye princes of the house of Israel. Is it not for you to know judgment? Who hate the good and love the evil? Who pluck off their skin from off them, and their flesh from off their bones? And I said, Hear, I pray you, O heads of Jacob, and ye princes of the house of Israel. Is it not for you to know judgment? Who hate the good and love the evil? Who pluck off their skin from off them, and their flesh from off their bones? Who also eat the flesh of my people, and flay their skin from off them, and they break their bones, and chop them in pieces, as for the pot, and as flesh within the cauldron. Then shall they cry unto the Lord, but he will not hear them. He will even hide his face from them that at that time, as they have behaved themselves ill in their doings. Thus saith the Lord concerning the prophets that make my people err, that bite with their teeth and cry, Peace, and he that putteth not into their mouths. They even prepare war against him. Therefore night shall be unto you. Therefore night shall be unto you, that ye shall not have a vision, and it shall be dark unto you, that ye shall not divine. And the sun shall go down over the prophets, and the day shall be dark over them. Then shall the seers be ashamed, and the diviners confounded. Yeah, they shall all cover their lips, for there is no answer of God. But truly I am full of power by the Spirit of the Lord, and of judgment, and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgression, and to Israel his sin. Hear this, I pray ye heads of the house of Jacob, and princes of the house of Israel. Princes of the house of Israel, and abhor judgment, and pervert all equity. They build up Zion with blood, and Jerusalem with iniquity. The heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests, for reward, for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yet will they lean upon the Lord, and say, Is not the Lord among us? None evil can come upon us. Therefore shall Zion for your sake be plowed as a field, and Jerusalem shall become heaps, and the mountain of the house as the high places of the forest. And the mountain of the house as the high places of the forest. Thank you. Chapter 4. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it. And many nations shall come and say, Come, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of the God of Jacob. And he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off. And they shall beat their swords into plowing shares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. But they shall sit every man under his vine, and under his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid. For the mouth of the Lord of hosts hath spoken it. For all people will walk, every one in the name of his God, and we will walk in the name of the Lord our God, forever and ever. Congratulations. And I respect that one. And none shall make them afraid. That becomes super deep because you guys are afraid right now. You're made afraid. Every one of you are afraid right now. And I mean that in sincerity as a pastor, but everyone is afraid. You're being punked. Right now, if you were to pray to God or try to look for God or have a relationship with God, something is making you afraid. You can't be yourself. You can't talk to him. You can't pray to him. You can't be vulnerable. You can't be weak. You can't cry. Something has you fearing that communication with God and who he really is, you have to be a certain way. You have to act a certain part. It's a certain volume and tone you can have with God. You can't scream for him to help. You have to be quiet and whisper. You have to hide it. So all these things are being forced on you to be scared to look for him. All these decisions, all these routes, you can't pay your bills, you don't have money, you don't have food. All of these are fear. All of this is forced on you so you don't go to him. All of it. Everything in life that isn't, think about it. Like right now, you can gift me. Right now, you can gift me gifts. Right now, I can gift you gifts. You understand what I'm saying? But we're not able to. We don't have the ability. We don't have the money to just do all these things. But that would be nice. How happy do you be when someone does something nice for you? So how come that's not constant? And not that you just always have to be given something. But how come that feeling? How come that charity? How come that knowing I can get help? How come that knowing I can go help someone? How come that's not permanent? but the fear, but that danger, but that challenge, but that lost effort, that force you to go here, 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 and do all these things just so you can smile is always present. But even sometimes after you do all that, that smile isn't guaranteed to be there. So that's the fear, you guys. That's the fear. Now it forces you to not have that smile and rely on being forced to be down and discouraged. Forces your faith to be tried. That's the fear. There's a fear in life right now that God himself is someone else, somewhere else. God couldn't help. God couldn't do this. God couldn't provide. God isn't real. There's a fear that keeps the relationship to yourself. See, because if I pray to God and God answers me, and you pray to God and God doesn't answer you, is it because he loves me more, or is it because you're not ready yet? You understand that? There's a difference. And the fear pumps everyone to not be ready. So that becomes, that's what separates you and God. This fear interferes in your relationship. This fear, you guys, and you got to understand the fear. The fear is, that's so deep. I love how he put the fear. The fear right now, I'm going to show you what the fear is. Okay, so we all fear if we don't eat, we're going to physically die. We all fear if we don't eat, we're going to physically die. But what if someone forces to take your life away from you? How scared are you every day you wake up and leave your house? Whether you're going to work, whether you're running errands, you got things you have to do, pick up the kids from school, whatever you have to do, go visit family. But every day you leave your house, isn't it a fear something can happen? Now just take that as reality. Some people have guns, some people have knives, some people carry mace, but there's a concern someone may not be as friendly as you are to everyone today. And you just might run into that person just might run into you. Or it can be an accident, something bad can happen, something can fall, an accident, right? But it's always a be careful. You don't just walk across the street. Why? Because there's a fear you may get run over. So you look both ways to make sure you have protected yourself, right? Because of that fear is my point. There's fear every day in life. Because of this fear, you guys, it has been used against us. Because every fear violates, as, think about it, the result of death. And not looking both ways, would you be safe? Or is it for sure there's a chance of death? So because death, think about it, death is the result to each fear in your life. Each fear. If you stole something as small as a pen from the doctor's office, it had a bunch of pens, and you took one without asking, what is the real fear? You're a bad person. You're going to get caught. You did something, that fear comes over you that, oh man, why? I didn't ask. It didn't belong to me. I could have and got it, yes, but I took it. So now it's like this fear, right, of consequences. Even the fear someone now sees you as you're someone that would take things, right? So there's that fear that overcomes you, right? As a consequence. I'm saying death. This is what you gotta understand. Death is the result of every fear because it results to God not being with you. So everything results to death. Now I want you to understand death is created Here, hold on one moment. Okay, 40 from now. Okay, you guys, I got about a little bit. So check this out. What was I trying to say? Death is death is used to manipulate a consequence and circumstance in your life that would, as only the judge, God, the Father Jehovah, the Creator, could present you to have to leave and exit His world. Death has forged a form of that communication to say God, because since the result of death is like God has to clean it up, right? It's basically like Cain and Abel. And did God intervene and prevent it? So it was like a shocker, right? And then God, as the result, after the death, does His judgment. But to know like this was going to happen, it came as a result. You gotta understand, this is the first murder that occurred. So look at how everything happened. Like, it wasn't God in front of him saying stop, 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 right? He did it. Then it came to pass, right? So now in the form of death, as the result, it's because God is the creator. It's been forged on Him as full responsibility for the whole action. When it's murder, and when I say death, people who are sick unexpectedly, and they're good people, caring people, loving people, and they die. That's you have to know the difference between God taking someone's life and murder. You understand what I'm saying? This person becoming sick, and let's use it in a murder reference. The person becoming sick, only one person affects people. Only one person affects people. And God does not cause your sicknesses. People getting sick is a result of sinning, because it's now taking a toll of your body and ailment. People didn't get sick. And if they did, it was for sure God was going to heal them from it. But if God told you, you're going to pass from this, then that was under those circumstances. But He would heal people from it. Sicknesses that me and you see is someone's result that there was nothing that can be done. It was a result of sin, someone dying from those ailments as a punishment. But as far as someone being sick and having to suffer, there was no such thing and no case in the history of the book. For God would be there, and He blessed people. He blessed, prophets. He blessed priests. He blessed servants of the temple, high officials, what we would call doctors, wise men of the body, and ailers and healers and things like that. We had these around. And something that a doctor would say here, someone could just put their hands on you and pray to God, and God bless them to be able to save your life. So that was the foundation. I just want to show you the foundation. What has occurred, the only sicknesses that continued, that resulted from death, or attempted to result in death, was Job. The prophet Job is the only individual who was what we would now consider as our daily ailment that we go through. And to prove that the world wasn't known to these ailments as such, Job got hit with all these sores, all these pains, all these sicknesses, which is a symbol for a healthy man to out of nowhere now become sick and become ill. But that was a result of being temptation but it also identifies when certain things just occur in your life, and it seems, and God, just that's not his MO. Because the one thing in life, God is leading each and every last one of us. As soon as you're born, God greets you and says hello. It's on us to remember his hand and who he was and who he is. But he leads every life. This person becomes a doctor. This person becomes a mechanic. This person becomes a lawyer. This person becomes sports. This person becomes a musician. He's led all these individuals to be that specific and guided them in their lives. Everyone has a destiny. Um, Everyone has an occurrence. Everyone wakes up to breathe, to go to sleep, to breathe, to continue, and it continues, and you grow and you develop into what God is preparing for everyone to be. The circumstances is the Job effect of that perfect, wonderful, blessed life. What would start to interfere as the form of communication presents something different. In this communication, every day is me and you. All of a sudden, something interferes with that. And the child understands it, separation, and then pretty soon they come, your grandma, grandpa, take them to church, mom and dad take them to church, and they slowly start to realize that relationship, again, was the creator. And all of us, as a young teenager to an adult, realize who is blessing, who our lives, that ultimate friend, that I love you, that feels like, how do I have all these things in control in my hand? I know it's not just, it's me. I know it's not me. It's not just me. I know it is, it's not, by my love. I know it's by God and his grace and his favoritism, that he's blessed me to be able to do these things as a human being. So once we start developing and wanting to know, I believe the shift of, like I said, the war, if it is only one God, the shift of the war and the reality. Because now, something so happy amongst yourself, you look into the reality of today and what you see and how to try to go find him, which he's always going to be in this world, in this life, and what we're living. But because of the pyramids in front of us, here in Babylon, disguised as, something ancient and not ancient, something holy and unholy, something of God and not of God, has been presented in front of us. It distracts us. You get disclosed by the fact that you have the ability to search and can go look for these things and find yourself. And because it's so set on a plumage for everyone that you don't find it. Isn't that something? It's like, we're supposed to be feeding you every day, and yet we force you to work to pay for it, to buy it. And so you don't think your journey in life isn't going to be like that offer of your food. There's food all around, but you just can't have it. So because of that, it's like, okay, Joseph saved Egypt against the devil with famine and Pharaoh, right? So it was like to personally war from Egypt even deeper, to put a personal famine in front of your face. And the famine is what you are able to get up and provide to get for yourself. But it's under the circumstances that this is what you're supposed to do. See, God is in front of you, but if I can disguise it, and remember, it's only one person trying to lure you. So no matter what's out here claiming they're God, they have to bow to the one person that was the closest to him. There's only one person anyway. It's only one source of evil. So you're only going to get distracted by, if it's many the voices, if it's legion, if it's whoever has the voice, their power is only subject to this one individual. So the fact that distraction within our lives, which we can't see because we're still living, and it forced objectives, and because we're as God is our witness, this is in front of us as well, and we're living under the oppression. So you have to understand, you're a slave. Just mentioning God's name, you're going to be a slave in life, because there's so many things wanting to prevent God from being the only love in your life. So you're always going to be a slave to work and have to humble yourself and homage yourself to him. And that's the reality of it regardless. Now, because of that slavery of oppression, and you're already a slave working for God. You're already his slave. The devil has forced the Pharaoh Moses effect, God's slavery, which would be a miracle done by Moses, and we're slaves for God. Pharaoh, the Satan effect, has developed his forgery, since we're also oppressed by the devil as well. And because the devil's already doing it, slavery now becomes the image of Israel. And if a black African showed you had to get up, they say, and do this and work and carry this load and provide for yourself, and what you were able to manage to have, they allowed you to have, but you struggled daily under their, their ownership, their mastery, their subduing of you. And you're working for God like that. You're up in the morning, you're praying, you're believing, you're searching, you're trying to find. You spend your days laboring, feeling that's a good thing for him. It's a good study of you learning. That's a good way to show it in front of the earth and display it as far as the best you can. And your shyness and you being, I don't know, just scream God out in front of everyone, and just, your own personal knowing when it's time, and he'll bless you to scream and show the light and say his holy name that way. So because of that, and I don't want to say interference, but because that relationship is open, because like I said, it's an interference. There's something interfering, wanting to hate on him and prevent him from being the father he is to us. And because that relationship has also gathered you in the form of aid, because there's a confusion of war. If God is talking to you, as to say, don't eat this fruit, so you heard him say, don't eat it first, and then here comes the serpent coming telling you to eat it. That becomes now one way of God trying to split and force two ways, and now you hear me, what I have to say, and make you listen. So in the birth of life, your connection with God, you have your connection with God. The interference comes because something is offering you the war, the battle itself, to interfere with him. So now there's a conflict, which is you've been blessed this whole time. Now all of a sudden there's confusion of where to go and who's God, who's blessed you, who's given you the crown to be subject to this ruler. This open life, this oxygen that I get, this energy, this air that I get to inhale and exhale 24/7. Who's responsible for blessing me to be like that? And here comes God continuously blessing you, but then here's the war. Something's interfering with already. You guys, this is why every human is subject to sin if they war with their fellow brother. Every life is subject to that beginning, middle, and end in their life. And so the beginning has been God, and in the middle has been God. Now you're old enough to show respect and honor and love that. That's only been there for you. Even if you haven't known him and called his name, he's been there, guiding, leading each and every last one of us. The war happened because that spirit is now forcing everybody, forcing everybody to this challenge. And Job becomes effective because we were taught when bad things happen to take it and praise God. We weren't taught bad things happen. We weren't taught that. We weren't taught God doesn't make bad things to happen. Thank you, guys. We weren't taught God makes bad things happen. God doesn't make bad things happen. He doesn't. The devil makes bad things happen. But we weren't taught that. We were taught to accept everything as God. And in accepting everything as God, we're putting God as when people die, when people are murdered, when people are killed, when people are brutally violated without their will. We are teaching everyone that, excuse me, hold on one moment, y'all. 25, 20. Okay. Excuse me. Thank you guys for waiting. Okay. So with our teachings, um, it's not two sides. It's not two sides to the story. It's only one side to the story. That one side is God's side. The interference, the interference becomes the war that's in our lives, trying to force us to see. It's all about oppression. It's about oppression. And if God is in front of us teaching us, something has to come to try to interfere with the communication. So something has to come and try to get, if God is saying, I'm here with you, my son. I'm here with you, my child. I'm here with you, my daughter. And God presents himself to you, and he's blessing you, and he's walking with you, and he's talking to you. You start to get into the Bible. Not necessarily getting into church, but you start getting into the Bible, into his word, and start to study and start to read and start to incorporate and generate all his wisdom that he teaches, that he has, that he knows, that he loves, that he gives us all. That becomes the word of God, all dedicated inside of you. All of a sudden, here comes Mr. Devil. Here comes the devil. And what you don't see is the challenge. This is what America, this is what the white man, this is what the Ku Klux Klan has been able to do because of slavery. You don't see the challenge. You don't see the initial Jesus Christ himself, Job, hast thou considered my servant Job. You don't see the challenge of his approach to now start to put you through things. You don't see it. And again, we've been trained psychologically to accept. So if someone comes to do something, I accept you beating my head off. We've been trained to accept, as if there's going to be a reward for being beat down. If there's a reward for being punished, there's a reward for being killed. And then you use Jesus as a fact, like Jesus, like someone walked up to Jesus and just start killing him. And not Jesus was preparing to go. And not saying someone just didn't walk up to him, but they condemned him. They beat him and smote him and hurt him along the way. But my point is, it didn't just happen. So it's like we're trained, like if something is to come, to just sit there and let it happen. And in no way be smart. And even if God, take it to God. And if God said move, or if God said, but we're taught to just get abused. So if the devil was using temptation, and you got to get Jesus after the third temptation, said, get thee hence away from me. Get away from me. Don't tempt me no more, because temptation isn't what God wants. You're just putting me through things to hurt me, with things I can do and possible things I can't do, and you're trying to force me to come to you as if you could be the strength and the source and the redeemer of how I can do these things. So if you see it, so now in that communication with you and God, now it's forced a power which is now forced now your relationship with God to now be burdened by these anguish, by these temptations, by these torments that constantly distract but attract This is supposed a relationship between you. So now that the confusion has been driven, this voice is now telling you to do more and do this and take these punishments, take these abuses in his name. And we've gone so confused because we're thinking God is putting us through these things when we don't see the backstabbing just took place, and now you're in the arms of the devil. And the abuse can continue because you're believing God is the source. And now he can put himself in it as this person, which we don't see himself always admitting he's the one throwing it at us. And we're worshiping his hand because we don't now got confused and don't remember the spirit of who God is as far as identity. So now when when God's voice speaks, we follow, but because we're so confused in this one way, only one, when the devil speaks, it's as Eli when God called Samuel. When God called Samuel and Samuel didn't go to God, he went to Eli thinking Eli called him. That's who he knew. So because the presence of the temptations is always around to throw this, throw that, and put us in it, and we get through with God and overcome and we overpower it, we're so used to the voice while being aware of the devil and aware of God. It's the devil who's initiating the temptation to put you through it. So because we're so trained to that voice that says, do this, take this, hurt like this, that psychologically makes us go to the devil and worship him, not knowing he's tried to identify, he's tried to duplicate God's voice, presence, and spirit in the form of calling you. So when God's calling, as to say, just any morning, any given time, any day, I just want to bring up God, that spirit of God coming because you called his name, so he's coming, it sends an alarm to Satan to come and try to present himself. And because he's identified himself to you as a source of putting you through this, promising you that, putting you through that, you've been psychologically believed it's God, it's the devil. But it's, it's God to you, but it's Satan and God that would never put you through anything because it's the Job effect. We've been psychologically forged to believe Job, that God did that to Job. We've been psychologically forged. And this is what God is trying to show. Job is perfect because it shows the confusion of who to blame. It's really who to blame. Blame God. So when things like that happen in your life and the devil is the one doing it, it's all for you to blame God. Even when you take it, it's to blame God because it's saying God put you through it. When you don't see, you guys, what up, Dodger? What you don't see is it points itself in the story. The devil put that on Job. God was nowhere around to say, I'm going to do that to him. The purpose is to see how deep and how strong this was put on this man who had no idea what was going on. So now how does it reflect to us? Is him being the prophet to teach us, with him going through that suffering and struggling and having to face that alone in his life, with God blessing him with him and guiding him, but alone as to not know. While we can read it, it's us as well because we don't see who's doing it. But it's deeper than just, oh, it's the devil, I come to test you. We've grown to worship it as if it's God putting us through hard times. See, we don't see that the story is this person came up with the idea and came up to God to do this to this person. It's not God wrote this for Job to go through it. It was the idea of someone to say, let me put him through these hard things. We in life don't see if God's promise to never do something like that. Remember his promise. I'm the Lord thy God, the one God. Put me first. But I will never do these things to you that the devil would do. The devil would hurt. The devil would put you through things. The devil would intentionally see something and want to do it just to put you through it to hurt you. I'm the God that will protect you and never think like that and will never hurt you for no reason. We don't see in life all the stuff we're going through are things that only one person would have thought of to do. But we've been forged to take it as if God is the author and responsible, the one that wants us to go through it. If you don't see the temptations every one of us faces, only one person created that, and it's not God. But we've been trained to accept all these hard. Come on, thank you, God. Like we're doing it right, but we're doing it so wrong. God doesn't want us to do it. It's to figure out who's doing it, and like Jesus, get thee hence away from me. Get away from me, Satan. Leave me alone, Satan. It's for you to learn. Wait a minute, God wouldn't want me. Think about it. Command these stones to be bread. That's because he was Jesus. If you're hungry, make these stones turn to bread and eat. And he's like, huh? But he's thinking it's God. Here comes the next. Throw yourself down and hurt yourself for nothing to happen to you, and he'll send an angel to help. If Jesus was just hungry and needed something to eat, how could he throw himself down and be sure he wasn't going to hurt himself if he couldn't even get something to eat? So now it's written, don't tempt me. You understand? Because now you're tempting me to do something to hurt me. So now I know you're not my father, because now that's like killing yourself. And he's like, I know God wouldn't want me to just do it for no reason. So why would I throw myself down to see if God's going to pick me up? So he's already knowing you just want to hurt me. That's second strike too. Third, all the kingdoms of the earth bow down to me, worship me, and I'll give you all these things. Like I said, man shouldn't live off bread alone. Every word that proceeded, thank you guys, proceeded out of the mouth of the Father. Meaning, God's going to tell me. God's going to tell me. So, if I'm asking God for something to eat, he's going to say, okay, give me 5 minutes. He's going to say yes, or he's going to say no. But he's not going to tell me something stupid. But he's going to tell me something. The fact that you're sitting here telling me something stupid that doesn't have anything to do with what I asked, I know that's not God. And the third one, bow down to me and I'll give you all this. All of it's mine. So that's again me asking my Father for something to eat, and he's telling me to do something. So if all the kingdoms of the heavens are mine, why would God just tell me to bow to him and he's going to give it to me? And it's already mine. So he was fed up by then, because now he saw, you're just trying to lure me, trying to trick me, trying to get me to bow to this way. Because now if I bow to you, I have to go teach everyone else. God, when you're hungry, is going to leave you. God, if you're in danger, isn't going to protect you. And while you're safe, he's going to put you in danger, making you jump off of something to hurt yourself. And then on top of the third, you get to see everything around you. As to say, God created the earth. We're in the Garden of Eden. Anything you can touch and grab, you go eat, right? So this kingdom is right in front of you, but he's not going to save us with it. It's not ours. Now we have to bow to the person that wouldn't even feed us when we're hungry. We have to bow. It's the Moses effect, the Pharaoh effect. It's the trifecta of the whole, the reason he betrayed God. The reason God knows. Because look, he has a kingdom, but he's going to force me to bow instead of just present it to me. What God waits? If someone's dying, you learn 911. If someone just gets shot, or they're having a heart attack, having a stroke, or they're about to pass away, they don't wait. They go and do everything they can to try to save them, right? Why would God give less effort than a doctor or a hospital? So that's watching you when you need something, just watching you. That's another sign of the devil. So what God is trying to show, what God are you worshiping? No other God but me. What God is treating you like that? Then you get to temptation. Another sign, Satan with his name. What God is putting you through all these things for their name's sake. Forcing you to go through this, get hurt like this. Here comes the devil, and the devil gets to whack you over the head just so you can say, this is God. This is what God is trying to teach you. There's a God out there that makes everyone bow down to this subduance. When he doesn't answer your prayers, he denies you, and he doesn't protect you, and makes it even more dangerous for you. But he has the hold on you. See, you would call that person Satan, the devil. You would call that evil. See, you don't worship the devil. So you're not going to go looking for the devil to go pray to him. So the devil's not just going to be able to trick you like that. What if you are already in it? What if you're already in it, already praying to that? You're already believing in that. You're already worshiping this lie. And the God of all gods, the Son who no one has seen, is coming to teach you and lead you away from what's been lying and leading you astray. It would have had to have been leading you. For the devil to have tricked the world, the whole world, not just a part of the world where people were alive at the time. The whole world is every single person. Because he's doing it over. If we're all in heaven, if we were all in heaven, and he was able to trick everyone, what's the whole world? So to trick everyone in heaven, now he who tricks the whole world, leads the whole world. Now he has the whole world, which isn't going to be anything to him if he did heaven. So every single person, you understand what I'm saying? And how could that happen? Unless you were already like God in heaven, unless you're already with him next to him. Moses was born into having to work for Pharaoh. It didn't happen when Moses was born slavery. He was already a child that all of them had to be treated like that already. First sign, God is saying you're going to be born into already worshiping Satan. He's already doing it. Now, which one of us loves you, and who do you know will put you through everything, hurt you, and sabotage even if your mother, grandmother, grandpa, father, your kids was dying, husband, wives were dying, and you prayed, wouldn't God most likely hurt you? Wouldn't he most likely hurt you instead of give you that miracle and answer it? So he's trying to teach you who's doing that. Because that anger in life for this human that does have that father that's 100%. Verse someone is lying to you, treating you bad. That anger for you to get mad and explode and be free and realize it, wouldn't that be the human that followed God versus the human that was misled by something evil, wicked, and would slight you some way and somehow and do something to you? That becomes the way. So the fear, that fear is what is in front of each and every last one of you. Because it's a fear to love God, who's the nicest, lovingest, caringest person. And it fears you to now accept what the devil's been able to disguise 400 years. Death, rape, murder, violence, corruption, no stopping of it. So now you believe life and the way is this. So you couldn't look for something holy and helpful because nothing holy and helpful has shown to have looked for you. But it has the whole time because it's been holding you, loving you, caring you, breathing you, getting you protected, saving you. When the devil turns this way and that way and tricks you this way and that way, it's been there. So to God, God has been. To us, he hasn't. And that's why we don't get along as good as we should, because we blame him more than we honor him. So, but I love you guys. I gotta go. You take care. Peace.